We begin tonight in the capital city, where a controversial lawsuit surrounding transgender student athletes is back in court. Thanks for joining us on the Fox 61 News at 5. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The suit claims Connecticut's policy on transgender student athletes is not fair to cisgender students.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolforst was at this morning's hearing, nearly 2 years since this lawsuit was dismissed. Emma.
Yeah, back in December of 2022, a federal appeals court dismissed this lawsuit. But last year, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit reinstated the case. And this morning, both sides gathered in federal court as the Connecticut Association of Schools once again tries to get this case dropped.
Today was all about whether these 4 athletes that were deprived of fair competition ought to have their day in court.
4 cisgender female track athletes filed a lawsuit in 2020, arguing they were deprived of wins, titles, and scholarship opportunities in high school by being forced to compete against 2 transgender girls.
I think we want to vindicate just my client's interest here, that these athletes suffered discrimination by being forced to compete at unfair levels.
The 4 runners are represented by the conservative Christian legal organization Alliance Defending Freedom, which is listed as an anti-LGBTQ+ hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. ADF argues Connecticut's policy allowing students to participate in programs consistent with their gender identity violates Title IX.
We're seeking to correct the records, the athletic records, because at this point these athletes have graduated, and so the court is only able to correct the records of the races they ran and what those records would have looked like had they competed fairly.
The 4 women, Selena Soul, Chelsea Mitchell, Alana Smith, and Ashley Nicoletti, were not in court Friday, but spoke about their case during a 2021 hearing.
Throughout my 4 years of high school, I was forced to compete against biological males. Girls across Connecticut and New England all knew the outcome of our races long before the start, and it was extremely demoralizing.
All girls deserve the chance to compete on a level playing field, but cisgender girls should not be sidelined in their own sports.
The lawsuit specifically names 2 transgender athletes, Andrea Yearwood and Terry Miller, who have since graduated high school. Fox 61 spoke with Yearwood's father in 2018.
My daughter is a trans female. That means she needs to compete on girls' teams in order to feel most comfortable. She's running because she wants to be part of a team. My job is to make sure I raise a healthy child, and we all know that being part of groups and being included allows students to develop in a healthier way than when you're excluded.
The ACLU of Connecticut is representing Yearwood and Miller. In a statement, legal director Dan Barrett said transgender students are students and deserve to have the same protections as their peers. Student athletes should be able to participate in athletics, adding there is room for everyone in athletics, and Connecticut schools should be proud they refuse to discriminate. Now, today's hearing was just oral arguments on whether this case should be dismissed again. Both parties now await the judge's decision to continue or drop this suit, which ADF tells me could take several months. Sarah, Brent.